Hello, everybody. I'm Ahab. Thanks for joining me. We have another episode here of Ahab Plays Football Manager 2020. This is my Deportivo La Coruña save, and this is Season 2, Episode 4. And we have a pretty big match coming up in this episode, but let's do just a quick review of where we are at. We've had a pretty solid second season here. This is our first season in the first division of Spain's La Liga Santander. You can see by the difference here, I've blown my budget, as I mentioned previously. And in the past two episodes, we had a couple of interesting matches. Let's go to the schedule here. So 2 episodes ago, we played Barcelona and Pamplona. Barcelona hammered us, and then we hammered Pamplona. We've had a pretty solid run of form since then, losing to some pretty expected, to at least Sevilla. And then this was a friendly in which we lost to Norwich. That was a really good game. Solid to play against a Premier League team. I wanted to see how they did. They didn't field their best team, but it was still a solid performance on both sides. So we've been having this really great run of form, and then we've kind of lapsed here these last 2 matches. And as you can see, later on in the episode, we have a big game against Madrid. Real Hispalis 1-1 draw. That was a tough game. Hispalis had a really great run of form at the beginning of the season, and only in the last, I think, maybe 2 or 3 game weeks have they started to drop off in form a little bit. So they have the top goal scorers thus far for the season. I think he scored 15 goals in 14 or 15 games. So solid performer there. Girona came up with us from the second division, and they're always they were a tough team even in the second division. And but we should have won that match. We gave away a penalty, and that's that. But the previous episode, just going back a little bit here, we had our derby day against Vigo, and that was a solid game. So if you haven't seen that episode, go ahead and check that out. You can see that I'm quite happy with the way things are going. Let's talk about team selection here. So pretty standard team format here. I'm going with Cartabia on the side. I'm really unsatisfied with the rest of his play outside of assists. And that's because some of his stats don't lend themselves to being a solid player all around. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not a good player. He's a solid player. I'm just not playing him in a position he's used to. And frankly, in hindsight, I should have sold him off during the summer and made some money. But, you know, look at some of these stats. He's got a bunch of yellows here. I use yellow for the higher level stats, and dribbling, first touch, free kick is monster. He's 16 technique. Great physical stats. He's not that strong, though, because he's on the small side here. But it's his mental attributes that kind of leave him be and let him kind of trail off. And you can see his aggression's not that great. Bravery's not that great. Concentration's definitely not that good. I don't really care about leadership unless I need a leader. And then his teamwork and his work rate are just blah. And you can see where that comes into play sometimes. But he is our season-leading assister. Or he has the most assists on the team at the moment. So he's getting played over Akeche, who is struggling for fitness after an injury. I would play Akeche, but he is really going to be my go-to left side here. He is solid on that left side, almost as solid as Traver is, which is interesting. Traver's attributes don't really lend themselves, or at least he doesn't really like to play a wide midfielder. But he is doing really well over there, even though he's lacking in tackling and decisions. And you can see he's just kind of like a middle of the road. A lot of green, but nothing really spectacular about him. But he's got fantastic rating. I think he's got the highest rating for us this season. He's just doing very well. Edmondson doing really well. Brought him in from Leeds, doing solid. He's our goal leader, and he's only 19, and I'm really happy about that. Plenty of time to develop. Hopefully we can get the whole doesn't like big matches and consistency item off of him. But so pretty standard team setup here. Medrano Marchetti in the middle, Soma Chumi in the back, Simone on the left, Simone on the right, Ruiz on the left, and Uzoho in goal. Boveda is my wide back substitution. Ladropoulos is my defensive substitution. I'm going to hopefully sell him at the end of the year. Vincente is my mid. Keche is my wide. Borja-Gallon I want to give some more time to. Hopefully I can see what happens with him. And Santos is my front replacement for this match. Let's just talk about a couple of other things here before we dive right into it. We are, as you can see, 5th in the Spanish First Division. Real Hispalis had a draw in the last game, and that took them over us by a point. When it was not, when it was equal on points, we had them for some reason, and I'm not entirely sure why. I don't know why. Maybe there's some weird rules with regards to stacking in the Spanish league, but you can see here that Edmondson is tied for 2nd in terms of goals scored at 9. But look at this player from Real Hispalis, Borja Iglesias, 15 goals, just nuts. Traver is leading for the average rating of the season. That's fantastic, and Cartabia is tied for 1st with Pizzi at Barcelona for assists for the whole competition. That's really nice. Having a great season, and between you viewers and me, I'm going to be a little disappointed if we can't get European competition out of this. But I won't play that way. I'm going to play, and with the board, I've promised to avoid relegation because I didn't really know how this team was going to stack up against the First Division, but they're doing pretty well. So a couple of other things here. One, I have another series going, and hopefully I'll be able to put a link in it just so you guys can check it out. That is a journeyman series that I've started with Bath City in the Vanarama National League South in England. I'm calling it a journeyman series because my manager in that particular save is not like this manager. Look at those stats for this manager. I have this guy stacked as the best possible manager I could possibly make. Probably could do a little bit better by some people's opinions, but this is just nuts, right? Look at all those. Just crazy. Yeah, the other manager is not anywhere near this. Now, a lot of folks think that a journeyman save, or at least the way a journeyman save should be played, revolves around trying to get hired and then working your way to different teams. I don't know how that series is going to go, but definitely check it out, and leave some comments with which way you think it should go, whether I should take that manager to different teams and be mercenary, or if I should try to stick with Bath and bring them up to the Premier League. I might do that on my own, or the other one on my own, depending on what folks vote for. Anyway, let us talk about Madrid. Madrid is having a pretty solid season. They're 10 points behind Barcelona with the game in hand. But they lost against Bilbao in their last La Liga match, and then they hammered Besiktas. I don't know how to pronounce this team from the Turkish league, and that's to be expected. But the loss to Bilbao was not expected on my part. But you can see they've had a pretty solid run of form here. They drew against Atletico. That must have been rough. They drew against the Turkish team away. And who else? And they won against Barcelona 3-1 at the beginning of the year, towards the beginning of the year. So they're being Real Madrid. This is going to be a tough game. But let's look at this match here. 48 degrees and a drizzle. For some reason, we tend to excel when it's a drizzle, and hopefully I'm not jinxing myself there, and it's at home. So I don't plan on playing attacking football, though. I'm going to change that to positive and see how things go. I'm going to have to really try to stay on top of this, and I'm going to get this match loaded up and ready to go right after the break. Okay, and we're back here for our Coruña match against Real Madrid, and this is going to be an interesting match no matter which way you look at it. Eden Hazard is off on the left side for Madrid, Benzema in the middle, Bale on the right, actually playing for Real Madrid instead of playing golf. Carvajal on the right has yellow card issue there, and then their midfield is just looking rough. Cruz, Modric, and Casemiro, and then Mendy off the left. I'm not familiar with this particular Mendy. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Ferland Mendy, but plenty of space to be exploited here. Maybe I'll tell Ingvartsen to kind of hang back a little bit. Oh, actually, I don't know why I'm talking about that. Plenty of space. Not really much space over here. We'll see how things go here, because this is a solid defensive midfield here. But with Trevor and Cartabia working these wings, we might be able to crack them down a little bit. All right. I'm going to use one of the special ones here. Because they seem to thrive. They seem to like hearing that the media's been giving them a lot of credit. I'm also going to tell them I've got faith in them. And then end the team talk. And here we go for some more tunnel action. We're in 4th in the First Division form table after a good recent run. Does that help ahead of kickoff? Yeah, why not? It's always good to have Ingvartsen going. Yeah, I know. Hazard is a fantastic dribbler, and Carvalho has been dominating at the right and at the back for Real Madrid. I'm just gonna go with all those one-ups to see if that helps. So here we go into the match. And before we go much further, let me just make sure that I've got this set the way I want it to. I think it's slightly faster and faster. Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to minimize these here so that you guys can see more of the game. I'm going to change it to extended. I don't want to spend too much time on the game. All right, so their wide players are definitely pushing way up. That's to be expected, and I've left it on attacking. Let's leave it there for just a couple minutes, and then tone it down. Whoa, a little ambitious there. All right, Courtois doing his best to snap that up. There we go. Oh, get on that. Keep going. Benzema bringing it back to Modric, who lays it off for Benzema. Why are you sitting that high, Soma? Oh, Uzoho with a great stop on Benzema. Thank you. I'm still not sure where the 1v1 situation is with FM20. I don't know if there's another patch coming in regards to that, but I'd rather err on the side of less scoring in that case, because we do seem to have those situations on our end more often than not. Cartabia with a good pickup from the cross from Edmondson, and that was a solid piece of play. I'll take that. It's looking positive thus far, but we're only 3 minutes in, right? Ruiz with a long ball up to Edmondson, who's strong and takes it over from Ramos with the and the goal off the post. Ingvartsen with the follow through. That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm not particularly fond of Sergio Ramos for some of the way he plays, particularly some of the things he's done to my team Liverpool in the Premier League, but I know he's a solid player. He's a fantastic soccer player, but it's good to see the youngster who's super strong get a push on him and get a goal as a result. I'm going to leave it on attacking for now. Let me give a pause there, because I would like to praise those two, because that was a great 1-2. Confirm the shout for them, and have at it. I fully expect Real Madrid to have Edmondson overwhelmed by the praise. Poor guy. All right. There's a lot of space in this field. I'm liking that. And their midfield is sitting pretty far back. So maybe they're all on support. I'm going to see how they transition when they get up into attack. Their midfield is looking like they're playing pretty deep there. This could be trouble. Hazard on the wing. Nope. That was never going to be a goal. Uzoho is a pretty quality keeper, and I don't expect to let in a goal like that. All right, I'm going to back this off to positive at this point and see how this goes. I might... Oh, I don't have overlap going. All right, I'm going to not put overlap. Sometimes I run overlap on the wings, on the outside, to get my wingbacks to push up more. Oh, yeah, it was coming. Just great movement in the middle of the pitch. You would demand more. I don't expect to win this game as much as I would like to. What I would love to see, I would love to come out of this with a draw. Do a quick... All right. So, oh. Come on, guys, get it out of there. Oh, brilliant stop. But am I seeing this right? Interesting. They're going to have to make some subs, or they're going to have some very tired players late in the game. That could be good for us. Only 5 shots, 2 of them on target. One of them's a goal. All right, so this is halftime here. Let's see what this is all about. So their ratings aren't necessarily as good. I'm going to tell them I'm far from pleased, because while we are playing a significantly higher level team, I'm not going to let up. I mean, I expect more from these guys. So they're looking fired up. I'm going to tell Edmondson that I believe in him. Good, looking happy there. Going to end that team talk. And let's start the second half here. Let us just change this up a little bit. So, actually, you know what? Let's just try to see if we can open this up, because if they're going to be going at us here, and we can exploit some of the space. Here we go. Yes, right off the bat. Right off the bat, second goal for us. Edmondson, long ball over the top. Edmondson is just on fire. Who says he can't handle big games? This is a big game, and he's handling it fine. What's the opposite of, you know, they say defenders say they're keeping somebody in their pocket. What's the opposite of that? Where, like, when an attacker is just owning the guy who's marking him on the defense. Yeah, we're going to leave that for now. I like to leave this open here to see... Oh my goodness, are you serious? Oh! That was so close. That was such a good pass. Oh, they're actually anxious. What? They're anxious? Yeah, that's it, guys. Just leave Benzema open in the middle. Come on. Oh, and he shanks it. And he shanks it. Oh, thank. Oh, wow. Bale is at a 6? I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand what's going on here. Yes, leave it open. Yeah. Oh! Oh, Traver with the unfortunate header over the net there. That was a fantastic piece of play. And this is going much better than I expected here. What's going on here with Real Madrid? They're tired. We're doing all right. Bale's at a 6 rating. If he doesn't get subbed soon, that's going to be nuts. Cruz is not having a good game in the middle. And Ramos is frustrated because he's getting owned by a 19-year-old from Leeds. Yeah, they're just leaving all sorts of space here for us to exploit, and I'm liking this. Let's see how they adjust. Oh, Traver with the pickup, running down the side. Gets us a corner here. Let's see if we can capitalize. Cartabia with the corner. And, Traver tries to power that. That's his favorite spot, but that was not anywhere close to goal. Traver's not having a good game, rated in a 6.4. I'm a little reluctant to bring in Borja Galan, just because Oh, where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Edmondson, 2 goals out of the 3 against Real Madrid. This is just great. This is just great. Cartabia to Madron, leaving a nice ball over the top into space, and Edmondson capitalizing. I'm over the moon. I was not expecting this at all. Look at them. Anxious, frustrated, very frustrated. They are not having a good time over there. All right, let me pause this. And it's late in the game. Let me make some subs here. But we are really fit. Really fit. All right, so I'm going to put Galan over here. And do I want to make any more subs? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put a Keche because I want him to get some timing in. Give a pep talk. And I have faith in you. Please make a difference. Nope, Traver was offside, so Hakimi, go ahead and play that so that it's not an offside call. All right. Traver offsides? No, all right. All right, I'm liking the way this game's going. You know, Traver was not rating well, but he certainly, I think, was having more of an effect that the rating is giving him credit for. Oh, yes, go. Get that ball. Chase that down. I knew that was not going to go in for a goal because Ramos was actually on Edmondson there. Oh, that's a foul. How is that not a foul? That was one of Ramos's, like, I'm going to kick your leg and try to injure you moments. Once again, Edmondson just whooping up on their center defenders there. Ramos, it's a nice back and forth. I'm very excited about Edmondson. This is his, I mean, he's been solid all season, but this is kind of his coming out game. I mean, he's just owning that back line. Oh, now they're going very attacking. All right, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Because we've got this going on. Every ball over the top, Edmondson's chasing down. Oh, it's a foul. Yeah, you can wave your arms all you want, Ramos. That was a blatant foul. There we go. There we go. All right. Oh, that could have been really solid. Was Benzema? Nope, Benzema was onside. He was onside because Soma was leaving him onside. And what? What is that from? Oh, he pulled it back. I guess there was some sort of. Oh, all right. Well, the game's over. 3-1. Coruña wins against Madrid. That is an upset. That is a huge upset. And Hazard had a good game for them. Modric had a solid game in the middle, but Gareth Bale finishes the game. Maybe he is playing too much golf. Look at that, 6.1. Oi, Tony Cruz 6.4. He was not. I thought he was doing okay, but I guess not. And Ramos, I'm surprised he ended up with a 6.7 because he was just getting owned by the youngster. Player of the match by Ryan Edmondson. 9.3 rating. I'm going into this dressing room flying high. I was not expecting this at all. Not expecting this at all. That was really special. I mean, that was really, really special. You know. And let me see here. 8 or over, I give them a speaking to in the talking room in the locker room here. I'm going to say you were spectacular. And then I talked to these two, Edmondson, Madron, and who's this, Ruiz, after the game. All right. Los Merengues seen off by Coruña. Bad day at the office then. I'm not prepared to answer that question, he says. I could see him rubbing his bald head, being like, I do not know what happened out there. 8 unbeaten in a row. That's not a bad record for Coruña coming up the first season here in La Liga. Let's go to our press conference and see what sort of questions we're going to be fielded here. Well, I'm gonna go with that because I like that. You've got to be pleased with the result and the performance. We played some lovely stuff today. I mean, really, we were just bombing them over the top, and they were not able to handle that. I think it can go a while yet. Is there any chance at overconfidence? I don't like the other answers for that one. And I don't compliment opposing. I don't want to comment. Then no comment if you're going to keep pressing. I mean, Eden Hazard is a great player, but I don't compliment opposing players in this game. It's just something I don't do. I don't, I've seen some folks that also target other players. Like, who do you think the worst player on the other team is? I don't do that either. It's a waste of my time to go and look and see who has the lowest determination that's actually playing. And yeah, that can have a minimal effect on the game, but there's just so much else that's going on in the game. If my team is flying high and the morale's good, and we know our tactic and we've got relatively solid players, there's no reason to go that deep into the morale game here. Let's acknowledge that. I actually want to keep scouting this guy. Sorry, guys. Get a scout report on him. Evan Henderson is a 20-year-old midfielder. Keep scouting. I want that other percent. J. Roy Grott. Not familiar with this guy. Wide target man. Not what I was looking for, but oh, that's why. Wow, look at those physical stats. Holy moly. Oh, you know what? Maybe I looked him up for a target man. That's what I looked him up for. I'm going to add him to shortlist. He's young, and things end. I'll come back to that. Let's see, what is this? This is Saturday. Let's see what these other matches end up with. Let's see what happens with Real Espadas here. Because, oh, they won. Ah, that's a shame. They pulled off a win. Oh, and look at this, Borja Iglesias. He is just incredible. Pressing forward. And he doesn't really have any player traits. At least I don't have him scouted as such. So, man, that's a solid player Espadas has there. I'm curious what he's doing this season in real life. Let's go to the next on red. Not worried by that. And we remain in 5th place after the Saturday games end up, which is to be expected. Valencia and Barcelona, I don't think they've played yet. And Madrid, we know, has a game in hand. I've got 3 points on Sevilla, which is fine, even though they got that win against Malaga. And I've got 5 points on Levante. So we've got a solid season going here. And I was really happy in the last episode in Derby Day to win over Vigo, our arch rivals, on the coast there. We've got hopefully we can keep up this run of form. Maybe they die off, and I would be happy if we end up anywhere between. I mean, obviously, I'd be happy if we won, but that's not realistic. I would be happy if we end up mid-table. We'll see. I really need to end up somewhere in there so that the board isn't angry at me for all the money spending I've done. I'm also kind of hoping somebody comes in and wants to get some of our players in January. But all right, solid game against Real Madrid there. Let's look at the schedule coming up here. We've got Cercedilla coming up in the Spanish first round here in just a couple of days. It's going to give me a good chance to rest some players and play some other players. And then 10 days after that, we've got a friendly with Ingolstadt during this is our holiday break in Spain. It's funny. Spain goes on a break for the holidays, and England plays more matches in a month period than most others do in 2 months. But then coming up on the 3rd of January, we've got a big game against Valencia. I think that might be our next episode, depending on how the next couple of game weeks go here, or at least the Sunday games go here. But at the very least, it might be Valencia, Seville. Certainly, I'll make an episode with the Madrid game because they are on top. And then God, it already feels like the season's half over. Well, that's this episode of Let's Play FM20, Deportivo La Coruña. Thanks for joining me. If you have any comments, please leave them below, and I will answer as soon as I see them. Thanks again, and hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.